Oh,
Lulu,
wow.
be seeing a little bit of her, but I don't think we will be seeing her in the ban phase itself. So Lissandra being banned out. So let's talk about the other roles. AD carry. There's only one AD carry worth banning at the moment, and that will be Silver,
Okay.
because of the amount of utility she brings to the team with on the hunt.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you've been following Singapore and Malaysia esports for a while, of course, these two guys surprisingly in the same group because of the luck of the draw and stuff like that. So this is kind of like a mini local tournament for these guys, and of course, these two Malaysian teams bashing heads against each other once more. So Lissandra Jana taken out, Maokai Leona correctly taken away from Casper. I feel like he's one of those guys that can make the plays happen when he is on that champion, of course. And you know, there's a lot of interesting personalities mixed into this one, I feel. Now with Pyromancer as well as Ribena down the bomb lane, going up against Jae-Young and Casper, of course. Jae-Young started off the season playing in the jungle and now returning back to the AD carry role. So he was like, you know, I kind of tried out the jungle, not really my cup of tea, and then, you know, I'm just going to go back to the bomb lane. And of course, he's one of the most prolific players in the Malaysian scene itself, always known to go for hyper carries, the likes of Twitch, the likes of Vayne, the likes of Jinx as well. All these champions that have the ability to just close off the game once it hits the mid-game stages is all his personal favorites.
Definitely in the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they have two kind of main ways they like to play. One is the 5-on-5 team fights. They love to play the wombo combos, and the other way is to play a 4-protect 1 with all the team members just tunneling all their resources into jail and making sure that he's able to make the carry happen with his Jinx or Tristana or Vayne. So the first pick coming from Kuala Lumpur Hunters straight away will be locking into Jobram for themselves.
Wow.
KTHXBAI, they know that the Gnar is open. Gnar and Silver very fast pick and ban.
Yeah, that's right. So both teams just securing the most powerful flavor of the month for themselves. I don't think we're going to see that Queen lock in. Even though, if it does go that way, I would love to see how Jaeyoung's going to bring that one up. And, I mean, KTHXBAI, of course, taking away the flavor of the month, taking the Silver, like you correctly pointed out, one of the most strongest priority picks right now, and the Gnar as well. So the thing about Swak as well as 13 Ghosts, if you look at their direct matchup itself, I always feel like for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, the one weak link that they have is up in the top lane, and that is 13 Ghosts. And he does bring, you know, some sort of utility to the table. He does fulfill his role as a top laner, but sometimes you can feel like his mechanics just falter against some of the strongest top laners around the region. And, you know, Swap, he's one of the guys that has been emerging from the scene with a bang, right? You know, he have pretty good performances on champions such as Rumble, Renekton, and Gnar as well. So, you know, some of the champions that he can really work around with. And this time, just taking one of the strongest for the month, I think he is definitely going to be one of the guys to watch out for in this game.
Definitely indeed. More about Swak. Whenever we see him play, he actually takes leads in the laning phase and draws a lot of attention to himself, resulting in him getting killed multiple times by his opponents, as they usually have to put a jungler up the top lane to compensate for it. So we actually see Swak in a very unfortunate situation, but he's actually at the bottom of the GPL stats charts, as he has one of the lowest KDAs because he gets repeatedly camped out time after time.
Yeah, that's right. So it's kind of unfortunate, right? When you are so prolific as a player, you will be one of the key targets to go for the jungle. And I think it kind of falters back to the point is, while you might be mechanically skilled, you also need to be, you know, aware of your surroundings to sort of complement that kind of play style here. So let's see what KTHXBAI does choose to go for here. So I think it's going to be Ribena this time around on that support role. So kind of switching around with his own laner, and it will be Pyromancer playing the AD carry role, if I am not wrong. And they will lock in the Sejuani for themselves. And denying that away from Moon, I think it's going to be extremely important. So Moon is also, of course, one of the junglers that have sort of replaced the old jungler for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And he has this new dynamic to bring to the team. He likes to go for extremely utility-based and, you know, tanky-based junglers to complement the playstyle of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, which is to protect the Jae-Young, and then having Ozoraveki in the mix as well to just make sure that they have some damage follow-up. So, you know, locking in the LeBlanc, one of his old favorites is Ozoraveki.
I mean, in fact, we do see the Jinx being locked in as well. So Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they're just going to be trying to protect the Jinx. However, we don't see the insane 4-protect-1 strategies that we have seen sometimes with the Janna, with the Lulu.
Yep.
Just everything focused on the AD carry. But nonetheless, we will see in game the way the rotations pan out, it will always be centered around Jail. We will see Moon in this case make a lot of early visits to the bottom lane and try to get Jong ahead as much as possible. So now on the South KTHXBAI, they know it is a LeBlanc in the middle lane. We have to see how he chooses to respond to it. Syndra is available, but that has been nerfed recently. And notably as well, Azuravaki has been playing Annie against LeBlanc. So it will be rather interesting to see if KTHXBAI do pick up on that and pick up Annie in the mid lane for themselves to deal with Azuravaki's LeBlanc.
Yeah, I would love to see that Annie come into play, but maybe they would consider the likes of a Zed that can sort of duel out with LeBlanc. Or maybe even the likes of the Akali. We did see a quick hover for Zer in the meantime. And I mean, Fizz is going to be a perfect choice as well. So to wrap up the composition with a bit more magic damage on his own end. So it does look like it is going to be the Fizz locked in. So both teams actually having access to a lot of the flavor of the month power picks and some of this old favorite picks as well. This time though, I think it's going to be CO4 playing the jungle, if I'm not wrong. Yep, so, you know, he's going to be thrown into the jungle in new position here. And very similar situation to Jaeyoung at the start of the season. And I wonder how he's going to adapt to this jungle role right now.
Oh, this is interesting. In fact, Pyromancer and Ribena looks like they have done a little bit of a role swap over here. So Pyromancer, usually the support for Ribena, both of them have swapped roles around. And now Pyromancer is the one to be playing in the AD carry position. And Ribena will be supporting for him with the trash.
Yeah, that's right. So KTHXBAI looking to, you know, shake things up a little bit. I mean, they are at the bottom of the table, and I don't think that they will be able to catch up to Colombo Hunters, with the exception of them perhaps picking up 2 victories tonight and 2 victories tomorrow against ISG Legends, and for Colombo Hunters to drop 4 games in a row. And that's a huge bet to bet against. So I think if they want to sort of pull out any sort of interesting strategies, this is going to be the perfect time to throw Colombo Hunters off their games.
I mean, at this point, if you finish third, you do get a slight increase in your paycheck for finishing above your opponents in the GPL, but nonetheless, KTHXBAI, I think they're just going hunting at the moment. They just want any points at the moment, avoid the utter humiliation of having to finish the group stages without a single point.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, like we mentioned, KTHXBAI is one of the teams to be, you know, neck and neck in terms of the positioning in the Malaysian scene itself. So it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to show what they have, and they've incorporated some of the members from another team that has been playing around in the Legend Circuit tournament as well, which is ISG Candy, now known as Smoking Hot Candies, and you know, Swag's going to be one of the guys, and Pyromancer, Ribena, all these guys being brought on stage now against the newly, you know, polished up Colombo Hunters as well, with Moon added to the equation. I just feel like Moon is such a perfect fit to Colombo Hunters. You know, they needed one guy to just be the one to say, you know, we need a guy to soak damage, we need a guy to be the sponge for the team, and Moon is just the guy to play that.
Definitely indeed, just to keep Jaeyoung safe.
Exactly,
Anything
you know,
to
just
keep Jaeyoung safe.
He brings out the most off-meta sort of champions. You know, when the first time he came into the scene, he played Sejuani, and now he's playing Jarvan. Not quite as tanky as Sejuani, but you know, still have a lot of disruption and, you know, zone control using the flag and drag and the Cataclysm as well. So just a perfect mix.
Definitely indeed, and Jaeyoung as well. Speaking of that, he has gone for the barrier once again. That's very classic Jaeyoung. Very, I have to say, it's measured and selfish to a certain extent, because it gives you a window of opportunity to trade with your opponents, because barrier has a shorter cooldown and heal, so that's going to allow Jaeyoung to be able to trade with his opponents the moment he knows that there's a discrepancy in the summoner spells.
Yeah, and you know, you're pointing out earlier that Colombo Hunters have a heavy focus towards the bottom lane to help Jaeyoung snowball ahead. But I think in this situation, he needs to choose now whether does he want to go up in the top lane to help 13 Ghosts a little bit. Because the Gnar versus Rumble matchup, I would say once he hit that level 6 stage, Swag should have a much better matchup against, you know, 13 Ghosts. Once he does get that, you know, Gnar ultimate to knock him against the wall and stuff like that. So when he needs to weigh that pro and con on whether does he really want to camp out Swag to make sure that this Gnar pick is going to be as efficient as you know, KTHXBAI wants to be, or do he want to just continuously go with the old KLH strategy of camping out the bottom lane, making sure that Jaeyoung stays ahead of the game, and then getting, you know, multiple kills, snowballing the game throughout.
Definitely, and you have to be careful. You have to be worried for 13 Ghosts over here, because he's picked up Rumble against a Gnar matchup, and I have to say that that's quite a bad matchup for Rumble, simply because he doesn't have the range required to chase onto the Gnar, and Gnar is able to disengage quite easily away from you, even when you drop your all-in spells onto him.
Yeah, exactly. So with the composition, I we didn't really touch on the competition all too much, but I just like the fact that both teams have access to a lot of their favorite champions. Some of them even signature, like Jaeyoung with the Jinx, and Zorvaki with his LeBlanc, and Swag on his Gnar. I mean, Zer plays a lot of Assassin himself, this time on the Fizz to try to counter out the kite ability from LeBlanc right here. Pyromancer and Ribena swapping roles this time around. Pyromancer on the Silver AD carry, and Ribena switching with the Thresh. And Thresh is surprisingly one of the guys that have seen less competitive plays in the recent month or so. So not too sure how he's gonna fare against Castle this time around, who's of course on that Braum. A lot of protection with the Unbreakable and the Glacial Fissure as well. So we'll have to wait and see.
So we will be having a short pause coming in, and I'm gonna try to guess the pause timing over here, Chris. You wanna play this game with me?
I'll say... Wait, but that's not very fair because you have the production timing, the production guy telling you...
I mean, you could just let me know how long do you think the pause is going to be, and
I'll
affirm that with you.
Okay, I'm going to pray I'm going to cross my fingers and pray that it's a pause because someone had problems connecting to the game and it will come back in about a minute or so. Gotta pray my hardest because, I mean, everyone doesn't like...
Come on, you gotta give me a more exact
estimate. We'll wait till the 29-minute mark, and then I'll tell you it's a minute from there. So 28 minutes.
28 minutes, is it?
Yeah, that's my guess. Like someone has problems connecting to the client, because I mean it happens, right? Sometimes when you try to connect to the game and then your client crashes, and then you gotta ask your friends, "Oh, all right, can you please let me know when the game has started up so that I can reconnect to the game?"
Plus minus how many seconds? This is your leeway window.
Damn it.
5 seconds? Come on, 30 seconds. That's just
okay. 15 seconds.
15 seconds. That's still kind of a big window, but I'm gonna give you this one. Okay. So we have to see what is the timing like of these
pause mechanics,
the pause mechanics, and let's see how good Chris's pause mechanics so far. I can tell you guys it's not exact, but we will be able to find out soon. And there we go. We're gonna enter the upper part of that very soon. 28:20, and when we hit 15, that's when Chris's window starts. 15. And there we have it.
I'm gonna buy lottery tomorrow, man. 15
right
seconds, dude. I called it.
Right as the window opened, so you got a little bit lucky though, because I should narrow your range a little bit more. You would have escaped if it's so easy.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, jokes aside, coming back into the game, both the Malaysian teams facing up against each other. Kuala Lumpur Hunters on the blue side this time around, of course, and KTHXBAI on the red side, looking for their first victory in the current split of the Garena Premier League.
Now, what I have to point out here is that KTHXBAI, they have a very weak mid lane matchup because Fizz gets bullied in lane, and even if you put a Sejuani together with him, Jarvan as well as LeBlanc, and even LeBlanc alone will be able to escape quite easily from that one. Looks like KTHXBAI have gone fishing for Jaehyung. No, Ribena unable to land a hook.
Yeah, so close as well. Ribena was like, wait, is Jaehyung really standing there? And he's like hesitating for 1 second. If he had just charged straight ahead, thrown down the death sentence, I believe they would have landed a massive chunk of damage onto Jaehyung on the situation, but unfortunately wasn't quite the case here.
Now KLH looks like they're trying to loop back around to the top side of the map. They drop down some deep vision in their opponent's jungle. Let's see what they will be spotting out. No information just yet, but I guess they can safely assume that KTHXBAI, they will be starting on the bottom side of the map from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's right. And KTHXBAI, their innate strength in this game is to rely a lot on the initiation from both CO4 and Ribena to keep everyone in place. Swag's going to be there to follow up, and if he can land a 5-man, Gnar ultimate, then Zer as well as Pyromancer is going to be able to come in for the clean house, and they will have the speed boost from on the hunt as well. So that's something that we have to watch out for. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, like we mentioned in the pick and ban phase, it's a very clear-cut strategy. Going to snowball Jaehyung ahead, and for Moon as well, Tilton goes to buy a lot of time for him to do tons of damage down onto KTHXBAI squad.
This is very interesting. Ozoraki opens with Decision Melissa early on. That's going to force Zer to be using his Playful Trickster early to be able to just dodge out the damage coming from Ozoraki. And this is going to give him a little bit of advantage in the lane to pick up CS. I mean, you're really taking a small lead. And one thing is just chunking in out the damage onto Zer.
Yeah, so Ozoraki extremely comfortable on this champion. And the thing about Ozoraki is that sometimes we as the shoutcasters, when we watch the Kuala Lumpur Hunters game, we will just watch out for Jae-Young and his positioning and how he's gonna sort of play out the game. But Ozorvaki is kind of the unsung hero of the game together with Caswell. They do a lot of work.
The forgotten stepchild.
Yeah, what?
It's a bit of a stretch, but that's the narrative Hungry and I came up with about Ozorvaki, because there's always this focus, there's always this attention to Jae-Young. The people tend to forget Ozorvaki, and I would say that was the most astounding leading phase we've seen from him. And as we saw him miss, I think it's just 3 or 4 CS.
Yeah.
And as we reach out now, we actually see Zare bring a hit in CS, but in the bottom lane, we actually see Power Man to drop extremely low. Casper might fall right now. He flashes forward, and that's first blood. Unable to get Joe as well. It's 2 for the KTHXBAI team. And we are seeing so much focus on the Joe. KTHXBAI, they just move in and mow him down.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of misleading our audience a little bit by saying that, oh, you know what, Jae-Young's the top-notch AD carry in Malaysia in this situation, but looks like Pyromancer and Ribena have a lot to prove tonight. That just set the tone for the bottom lane for the most part, and we're talking about these guys, Pyromancer as well as Ribena, swapping the roles tonight. Looks like the surprise factor paying quite well so far in the 3-minute stages.
I mean, this is what I like to call the Zion Spartan effect, because if you're on a team that puts in so much effort into you to get you hit to carry, naturally your stats will be inflated and you will definitely look good.
Okay.
And that is the case for KLH and Jae-Young as well, because KLH, they always pour the resources into letting Jae-Young get a hit. So you usually see him get these really large KDA ratios, and people are like, oh, Jae-Young's such a great player. But if you were to kind of like break that down, we see his positioning isn't really the best, and we start to see quite a few mechanical misplays as well.
Yeah, well, granted, the fact is that he's playing Jinx, so that champion's going to take some time to roll ahead in the matchup. And I feel like Jinx overall as a champion is that you do get some pretty nice pokes from the, that switcheroo, and when you go into that rocket form, you do get some pretty nice amount of pokes. But at the end of the day, Silver is just going to be the one to win out the first few levels of the match.
I actually had to feel that no matter what, Jinx beat out Silver in this early stages, simply because you get the once again hook onto jump on the damage coming, but here comes Moon from the back lines. No jungler response to KTHXBAI either. Are they able to land the stun? The answer is no. KLH aren't able to find the return kill.
Yeah, we did miss out.
I do believe in the top lane.
Yeah, we did miss that kill up in the top lane, so I believe hopefully we'll get to see what happened up there. But if you look at it all, Swag does have a CS advantage onto 13 Ghosts before that, so he might have just overextended in the lane. And
CO4 might find out Moon get Moon! He's not even looking right now. He is able to go on to Ribena, however, here comes the teleport from 13 Ghosts as well as Swag. Ribena dropping extreme low. He will be the first one to fall. Move will force subsequently as well. Are they able to get CO4? That is the reset on the Joe is the flash, but the last auto attack from Swag will be able to clean up. Like here comes Ozorvaki, Power Man, and Swag aren't in the clear just yet. They turn around, they get Caspiel. Are they able to get Jae-Young as well? Ozorvaki goes into distortion. They chase, don't miss! Boomerang chunks down Jae-Young. There's no more speed up for him, and now Swag and Power Man are going on to this one. Is he able to guess the right one? They're not going any further. And KTHXBAI, they come out of that one, I believe, 3 for 2.
Yeah, what just happened down the bomb lane? Not too sure.
Oh, he's gonna go in though. Get it. He gets the last hit. Now he's going up Ozorvaki. One more right bomb thinking, and it's the double kill for Swag.
Yeah, we're talking about this guy, right? One of the emerging top laners from the Malaysian scene. If that's not proof enough, I don't know what you're looking at, because Swag just outclassed Kuala Lumpur Hunters so hard in that bottom lane and created this fantastic opportunity for them to take the dragon as well. KTHXBAI, the team that has yet to win a single game, looking great.
But Charm the Waters misses, and now the fist once again! Ribena, but here comes the equalizer turning things around. Ribena still stepping onto it. 13 goes trying to do as much damage as possible. He is unable to get it, and he will be falling as KLH has roasted fish for dinner.
Someone please tell me what KTHXBAI did to their team here, because everyone playing exceptionally phenomenal in this game so far.
Well, Zare missed the Charm the Waters.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but the flay out of the flag and drag, I mean, that's gonna count for something, right?
Definitely indeed. His ability to juke around it, you gotta give him credit where it's due, and when mistakes happen, you gotta criticize them as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough.
I have to say, that
was
was quite a silly miss.
Yeah. Come on, Zare, get your game together. The rest of the team is playing so well today, man.
That's the way, Chris. Come on, Zare. He's 1-1-0. It's pretty fine for Fizz, especially when you're hit in the CS. Once again, giving credit where it's due against a LeBlanc.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, 50 CS to 38, yeah, that's definitely, one of
Impressive.
the things that you don't see every day in a Fuse versus LeBlanc matchup. And Swag returning to lane now is a 10 CS advantage. And surprisingly, both the top laners chalking up quite a lot of kills for themselves. So the teleport gangs really working out for these guys.
So we see 4 kills on 13 goals. So he had a 1 solo kill onto Swag, and then he picked up 3 more on the bottom lane later. So we're going to have a very inflated top lane in terms of explosiveness, because they're going to be hitting the power spec so much earlier. The next time these teleports come off cooldown, I think we are in for some crazy action.
Yep.
So we want to top lane once again, the gang on the Swag, and it is going to be the shutdown as 13 kills now 5-1 and 0 on the Rumble. We were saying 13 kills might be the weak link. He heard you and he has responded in kind. Now Casper is the one to be trouble in the bottom lane on the hunt and Swap to disengage away from that one. If anything has to criticize about Zar's play is that he could put a little bit more effort to match Azorovaki's roam.
Yeah, the thing, as I was saying in the pre-game as well, is that Moon needs to measure what he needs to do. So he knows for a fact that Azorovac is going to roam down to the bottom lane. So he feels like, he can visit the top lane a little bit, control that, Yordle, Gnar for a bit while now. And Pyromancer as well, so Ribena still sticking around for a long time in the bottom lane. I feel like this turret might just go down to Pyromancer doing his best to just chunk down this turret. Jaehyung still down at about half of his HP. Not quite the level 6 stage as well, so
Ribena looks to go for the hook over here. Is he able to find it? He draws it! He gets it! The box comes out! And Jaehyung still doesn't go down just yet, but here comes Moon. He doesn't have the Cataclysm. The spike goes in onto him. He does have it! And he's able to trap out 2 members. There goes Azorovac, Super Mega Death Rocket does miss. And Ribena's gonna sacrifice himself. Give the kill with the Jaehyung to let Pyromancer escape.
Yeah, the donate does come around for Global Hunters in that situation. But it took 4 men. We're gonna have a replay to see the collapse that happened in the top lane. So Swap here gonna go into Mega Gnar form and collapsing down to 13 goes. A lot of damage, Gnar into the wall as well.
He misses the Gnar into the wall.
Yeah, so no stun onto 13 goes, and it was perfect timing for Moon to actually intervene on that situation and help 13 goes pick up the kill as well.
So for all the brilliant plays Swag has made, he has his fair share of mistakes as well. It looks like, I mean, we're calling this the group of development, and some of the teams they have developed, and some of the teams, I guess they have yet to develop. So a little bit not so clean in their execution, not so clean in their plays, and we have to see where the rest of this game goes.
Yeah, my only critic for Swag when I watch him play, even in the local tournaments, right, is that he is one of the guys who have very good, micro management mechanics, but his macro play is not as great as, I would like it to be to match up to his micro level sort of play. And if he can, really improve on his map awareness, I'm sure he's going to go far in the tournament.
And we see Zar actually having a 23 CS lead and a kill lead over Azorovac in the mid lane over here. My goodness, when does Fizz win lane? What world are we in?
Well, welcome to Season 5, J-Storm.
Definitely indeed. Meanwhile, the gang at the bottom, the teleport comes in from
Pyromancer.
the Rumble as well. No equalizer.
Pyromancer.
Oh, Super Mega Rocket misses.
Oh,
and there we go.
Pyromancer.
Pyromancer will be falling as Moon comes in from the back. 13 goes chasing from the back now. Swap knocks it into the wall, but Ribena hooks it right back and charm the wall onto one. Is able to get any more. Cataclysm on the all 3 members. Oh, Moon with the plays. And outside the only remaining members, that once again, Jaehyung missing all the skill shots. 4-for-1 in the favor of Kuala Hunters. What a fast turnaround in this game.
Yeah, that's right. Kuala Hunters have pulled the game back into their favor once when we're talking about Moon over as the jungler. He is the guy to just be the front man of the team and soak up a lot of damage for Kuala Hunters. And we saw right there how precise his micromanagement is for his skills right there. The Cataclysm, the Flag and Drag as well, always catching out multiple members of KTHXBAI to make sure that the rest of the Kuala Hunter squads can follow up.
Zara, in fact, taking a whole bunch of damage. I'm not sure if he's trying to bait his opponents in. Jaehyung almost fell for the bait, I believe. He was trying to charm the Jaehyung over there, in fact.
Charm the Jaehyung.
But Jaehyung doesn't really bite the bait because he isn't really that much of a shark, although Pow is in the shape of a shark.
Yeah.
Can't really bait that in.
I'm looking forward to the, I believe it's called Firecracker Drinks, the new Luna Revel skin that's going to come back up. The Jigsaw looks pretty good.
13 gold is around here. Are they able to get it? They do find Zare, in fact. And is he going to be locked up? Does he land on the flame droppers? The answer is no, this is huge. And super mega death rocket. There's one, there's two. Double kill for Cheong in the bottom lane.
Yeah, once again, very nice setup from both 13 Ghosts and Moon in that situation. And multiple knockouts from Moon just create so much area for Jaeyoung to work with, and you know that Superman Mega Rocket coming out huge, catching in that double kill, and Combo Hunter's gonna take out this dragon as well. So it's gonna be one dragon apiece for both teams. Combo Hunters coming out on top right now, sitting at about 1,000.
Oh, they might get CO4 right here. He gets locked up in the Cataclysm. He returns to the Glacier Prison, and he is able to flash out that one. Rabina a little bit slow with the Lantern. That's not the end of it. Is he going to be going for the steal? Because they knock up CO4 once again. Hook lands on the Castle. Rabina tries to go for the steal, but now he's in a whole bunch of trouble. The box has been dropped. Chum the Waters comes down. Castle has been left for dead.
Yeah, he's gonna...
And there's Castle falling.
That's right, and on the back end of Pyromancer.
It's not the end of it. Zare, is he able to get the Urchin Strike? He gets a double kill. Is he able to get any more? Ozorvaki is out of mana. The blue buff gives him just enough for the distortion as well. He's gonna escape away from that one. Swap now on the chase. Is he able to do out 13 Ghosts 1v1? Here comes the response. He has the ultimate. Is he able to knock 13 Ghosts into the wall? We are gonna find out. Warlock comes down. The border goes. Is he able to get it? Swap, he needs to auto attack. If you don't auto attack, you're just gonna eat the flame damage. And come on! Swak! Right click him! Just right click him!
Well, I have no idea what's going on now. You know, 13 Ghosts in the previous tournaments looked like he was the weakest link, but he is the one racking up the biggest KDA so far.
There we go. Play for tricks there. Action strike.
Down,
Simple shutdown. So maybe that's the strategy. Beat the Zare. 5-2-0 on the Fizz. That's going to be a very difficult assassin to be dealing with later.
Oh yeah, and the thing about Zare, the thing about Fizz, sorry, is that he has one of the strangest power spikes in the game. His early game is fantastic once he hits the level 6 mark, and then his mid game just falls off a little bit because he needs time to get those items, and when he gets those items again, he's just going to be an unstoppable assassin that 100 to 0 anyone with a couple of spell rotations. So if Zare can get to that stage much earlier than a normal Fizz would in a usual course of game, you can expect his late game devastation to hit so much faster.
Definitely indeed. And in fact, actually, Fizz scales rather linearly the moment he hits level 6. And it kind of depends on the composition as well. KTHXBAI set a pretty decent pick composition. They have to chump the waters, and they have the death sentence coming in from Rabina as well. And I have to say, Rabina's hooks have been pretty spot on as well. So if they're able to follow that up with the chump the waters, get the shock down, get the slow, as well as the knockup, KTHXBAI, they have a pretty good shot at taking out the Kuala Hunters here.
Yeah, and speaking about KTHXBAI, before that we do have Zare as well as Rabina lurking around the bomb lane though. Will they jump onto Jaeyoung? They have exact information!
You have been revealed. Is he able to get a hook? He does get it!
Goodness.
Chopping Waters does land on Jaeyoung. Casper too slow with it. And Zare goes, and does he get the execute? The barrier has been popped. Zonas is the response. Ignite comes down, and Jaeyoung's going to be falling for the 4th time this game. He's still on the chase. Zare, is he going to get another? It's a double kill. 7-2-0 on the Fizz. KTHXBAI just pushing Zare into the skies.
That's right. KTHXBAI Jaeyoung, KTHXBAI Casper down the bottom lane. KTB this time around taking away so many objectives from Combo Hunters, quickly collapsing down to them, and start to see this team synergy work out. Swak in the mid lane as well, taking out the turret. Might have to pay for his life.
Yes, locked up. It's a Cataclysm and flashes out, however. So lots of major cooldowns being blown over, the Cataclysm being blown by Moon, and it is a flash of Swak that was blown in exchange as well.
That's right, and numbers across the board, looking at KTHXBAI now, in the top lane, it's a 50 CS lead for Swak, and down the bottom lane as well, we're talking about Jaeyoung being the guy to always play hyper carries, but his CS is just falling way behind against Pyromancer in this situation, so they need to actually create a lot of room to catch up in terms of the farm itself, or find some more kills, find some more picks like what KTHXBAI are doing themselves here, because they are actually leading by about 3,000 gold.
Pings into the bottom lane. Looks like they want to collapse onto Jaeyoung, and Casper, here comes the trash looping around the back. He's able to loop around it, and there we go.
Oh my goodness.
And Jaeyoung once again, he's just gonna fall way out of position and no wants to cover. Double kill over the Pyromancer this time.
Yep, that's right. So KTHXBAI finding the pick onto Jaeyoung again.
If KLH loses this game, 269 will qualify for the next round of GPL, I believe.
Are they getting a... Okay, right now they're both sitting
No,
on 7.
not just yet, not just yet.
Yeah.
It will force KLH to win the... Okay, never mind with that. Ozorabeki gets caught. Charm the Waters comes down, instantly bursts him down. Moon will be the next one to fall. This type of swap comes in for a little bit of overkill. And KTHXBAI, are they going to be pushing for the inhibitor over here?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but KTHXBAI turning on the aggression fast in this game. It's only at the 18-minute mark, but they have taken down 2 turrets down the bomb lane already. So the focus is so eminent on this one, but Kuala Hunters not having the right answers to this one. Not enough members around the area to try to help out Jaeyoung. And for Jaeyoung, I mean, I feel for the guy, man. We talked about him as one of the top tier ADCs, and I think we just put the target bot on him, and he's just constantly camped
Bina. Casper has no idea he's over there. Right, Bina might be able to try himself, but this one he comes around from the back. Oh, now from the left, the slow does not land. And there we go, flash into the death sentence. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty close call for Casper right there.
Swak missed the boomerang. If that boomerang had hit, that would have been a free kill for KTHXBAI.
Well, I guess they're not too bothered after all, because, 6,000 goal lead, pretty comfortable to work around with. It's
a pretty big one, in fact, at 18 minutes in the game.
Exactly. So KTHXBAI gonna collapse back into the Dragon Pit area. Swak has to manage his Rage Bar though. It's gonna come back up now. He's gonna transform into the Mega now. So
I think he'll be fine with that, and they will just be starting up this Dragon over here. Come on, KTHXBAI, just do the Dragon while you have to Mega now. If you're gonna wait for that to finish. Okay, they did it. They did. I can breathe easy now. Here comes Kuala behind us. Are they gonna get the engagement? Just trying to find the equalizer. 13 goals. We see be able to land in Mega now as well. Come on, get out of there, KTHXBAI. Good job.
Yeah, you have on the hunt too. So they have on the hunt too. I mean, so not too much of a problem for that.
Are they gonna turn around? Are they able to find a pick over here? Is the scrying orb being dropped down by Jaeyoung? He doesn't find anyone. CO4 just zoning out the rest of the members of Kuala Hunters. KTHXBAI now moving down the mid lane to set the sights on this next start. The hook comes in, doesn't land onto anyone. Swap just chucking a boomerang. So lots of boomerangs coming from KTHXBAI. They have pyromancers and just to get a double the boomerangs.
I just realized it's the boomerang comp. I'm a bit slow on this one, but it is the boomerang comp.
I do believe they had a similar composition that they were playing at the LC. I called it briefcases and boomerang.
Briefcases and boomerang.
They had a Mundo, a Gnar.
So wait, let me guess.
And a Sivir.
So I guess the Gnar in the jungle, the Mundo in the jungle, Gnar in the top lane, and then Sivir down the bottom.
No, actually I believe the Gnar and the Mundo were on opposite sides. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I remember that there was just a briefcases and boomerangs being thrown at each other. It was kind of a slow game.
Yeah, I mean, last night we had a, the fire and ice composition where you had 4 members playing, failed out champions, and then the other 2 just having a lot of fire on their own end. I believe it was Annie and Rumble in that situation. So it's good, it's just quite fun to see, different champions actually having a bit of item synergy within themselves. 2 boomerangs, double the fun.
As the vision control coming in from Kuala behind us, we take a look at the mini map and KTHXBAI. The other ones with the deep vision in this case. So it looks like they will still be posturing aggressively towards the bottom side of the map, trying to secure this mid lane turret objective for themselves. But this is where they have to be very careful, because that is where Moon as well as 13 Ghosts will be able to find a very solid flag and lay the wombo combo down if they're able to trap KTHXBAI in that space. Rabina gets spotted out by the wall. This entire rotation has been spotted out. They know it's only 2 people. Are they gonna go for this one? The rest of KTHXBAI has shown. Oh, there's a rather good wall over there, because they spotted out everyone moving into the hub of the map, and Jaeyoung just drops down the scrying orb, and he's gonna check that out. Are they gonna be going for this one? Rabina as well as CEO for just hiding over there.
Ozorabeki not gonna face check here. In fact, Kuala Hunters looking to out-rotate KTHXBAI in this situation as they move down into the mid lane.
But here comes the rest of KTHXBAI. Are they gonna find the flag? And in fact, they do land the charm. The water certain goes. They got extreme dust. He drops the equalizer. It's not a very good one. Super Mega Dive Record comes in, but now Jaeyoung is in a whole bunch of trouble. But he's already been thrown up on the fight. Ozorabeki is able to burst down center. Here comes the on the hit. I guess the double kill is up on it right now. Jaeyoung now doing the damage on the CO4. It is going to be an ace.
All champions eliminated.
KTHXBAI team.
Yeah, that's right. KTHXBAI just turning that switch on, going straight for 13 Ghost, he did pop the equalizer in the fight though, but I have to give credit to Swag. Was not captured all that well on the camera itself, but he was the one to zone out Jaeyoung as well as Casper 1 against 2 in that situation. And you know, once he turns to that Mega Knife form, just throw them towards the wall. Okay, in fact, we're gonna have a replay. Just watch right here what happened. 13 Ghost, the first one to get focused on, and Zerg kind of failed the Playful Trickster, but not too much of a problem whatsoever. And look at the focus right here. Super Mega Death Rocket comes very early, does not deal a lot of damage, and Swag now on the back end. It's gonna zone both Castro as well as Jaeyoung, and down at the bottom as well, we did see Zer just go up against Ozora. A lot of assistance towards Zer and a lot of burst damage coming out from him as well. So Swag was able to just, you know, buy a lot of time, and CO4 came in as well just to get an extra bit of assistance.
I'm just gonna break down and replay one more time. The first villain of the fight for KLH was 13 Ghosts because he didn't drop the equalizer immediately.
Yep.
He allowed KTHXBAI to be spread out into the wide open area where its equalizer wouldn't do as much damage. The second villain would have been whoever's making the shot calling on the team. And I think in this case it should be Moon because he chose to engage forward and put the rest of his team in an awkward situation when they should have just backed into the narrow corridor and have the threat of the equalizer just be too much for KTHXBAI to continue chasing. And even if they did continue chase, drop the equalizer, get 3-4 members, Cataclysm on top of that, easy fight to win. But they chose to fight in the open space, and as a result, they weren't able to prioritize targets correctly, and Jaeyoung was consistently zoned out of the fight because of the way Zer had positioned his fist.
Yeah, I think you make a fantastic point right there. So far, the team fights that has been going over to KTHXBAI's favor is because of the fact that they have just been walking around the huge areas and not going for the tight corridors.
4 minutes, KTHXBAI, they just shoved into the Baron area. They have the vision. They have the vision control. And Kuala Lumpur Hunters not able to respond to this at all. CO4 just having the feel of the northern winds damage away at the Baron.
Oh,
there we go. It is the raid team who has the Baron. KTHXBAI, they shouldn't walk into this water area so that they can conceal the Baron timing as much as possible. But now they have walked into these areas. They're kind of letting Kuala Lumpur Hunters know what's up. And if they're going to recall off this, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed because the cleaner stays. Finish the Baron, recall on the spot, and keep your opponents guessing as to what the exact Baron timer is. Because if you can get, let's say, 10, 20 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds up on your opponent, it's going to give you a lot of advantage when the next Baron respawns.
yeah, not only that, if you choose to respawn the moment you get the Baron buff as well, you do get this huge gold spike that that's still capped in Season 5, that's 300 gold. So you can go back, get a couple of wards, get a couple of items if you need to, come back, regroup out, and then go for the team fights because you have the Baron buff advantage. But seems like this time around, KTHXBAI are more focused towards the objective control. They get a couple of deep wards into the red side jungle of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and then they are going to go straight down towards the Dragon as well. So I believe this is the Dragon number 3 for them, so extra movement speed on top of the On the Hunt, right? So you can think of how much, you know, how much movement speed they're going to get out to kind of collapse down to Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
It's the turbocharger, man, on the silver. The exhaust is there, compressed air, all ready to fire. Just press the R button, everything is released, and they get the hypercharge they need to just run into their opponent's line. And looks like they are going to be going for this inhibitor over in the bottom lane. That's the inhibitor charge. KLH team not mounting any form of defense, unable to approach at all. They seem a little bit undecided, and they just surrender this one over to KTHXBAI. Looks like the Baron buffed up team of KTHXBAI is just no match for them. Now looks like next focus will be in the mid lane. They're gonna have to join up with the rest of the creep wave first. Setting up for a pick here would be an extremely sneaky move as well. As Ribena gonna go for it. He needs to be the same page with the rest of the team, however. Oh, are they gonna be able to? Let's just keep the camera on the Ribena for right now. The KTHXBAI, they're gonna be moving in shit. They get the ward down, they clear out some wards, they throw the hook for it, and they don't find anything just yet. All the wards clear. Once again, they trash in no vision area. This one is extremely dangerous for KLH to move anywhere near to try and clear the waves out.
That was pretty cute. I'll take assault into the Dark Passage. Just pulled CO4 right out of that mid lane, and KTHXBAI looking to collapse onto the top lane in a turret. No contest whatsoever for Kuala Lumpur Hunters as well. And I feel like this is almost the point that Kuala Lumpur Hunters need to respond to this push from KTHXBAI.
And at the same time, they have the super minions pushing down in the bottom side of the map. KTHXBAI, they're gonna be giving KLH some breathing space by recalling over here. Let's see if KLH will be able to do anything of that. Maybe try to get some vision control back in their own half of the map. Retake and reclaim some portions of the jungle. But KLH, they're just content to sit in the base and farm for now. They're just knowing that, okay, we're just going to try and skill this as much as possible, delay the game, and hopefully KTHXBAI makes a mistake.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way that they will be able to sort of have any way to win out against KTHXBAI, because I'm not actually a big fan of Kuala Hunter's decision to actually concede the bottom lane inhibitor over. And so even though KTHXBAI, the Baron buff has ran out for them, I believe the damage has already been done, so they can still siege up into the mid lane or into the top lane as well. And if once Kuala Hunters respond to the bottom lane super minions pushing with Sivir that's being played by Pyromancer right now, they can just demolish turrets at such a rapid rate.
Ball coming from 13 goes, you know that you need to be sure to defend this. Slowly but surely KTHXBAI, they will be able to get this start. You hold the Pyromancer, does score a little bit more balls and just walk forward and attacks the turret. He has the spell shield available for him though, so not sure why it's so fatal.
Yeah, so both Pyromancer and Swag actually taking a bit of damage from the turret. They cannot be overzealous, and you pointed it out, right? The moment KTHXBAI makes a mistake, Kuala Hunters will surely collapse down onto them. So need to be very careful of their positioning. It's all about the patience game, guys.
This should be it. They should be able to break this inhibitor tower with this one. They get this inhibitor tower, and this should be the distributor. And now with 2 lane super minions, I believe KTHXBAI, they're just going to be backing off and hitting to the top lane to end out the game. Oh, just going to ping one, a little bit of a small bonus for them. Let's see where the rest of the members are going. Just going to be trying to join up with the creep wave, checking out the opponent's blue buff. This should be very soon, the final moments of the game for Kuala Hunters.
Yep, that's right. So, Lucio Zorvaki, very desperate to get some item spikes on the opponent as well, going for the Abyssal Scepter. Not going to help out against this KTHXBAI squad. That's just snowball far ahead of Kuala Hunters at this stage. And pretty interesting timing for both Dragon and Baron to come up at the same time. So
exactly the same time as both teams. So
how often do you see this, right?
Baron and Dragon, you need to give them a gold medal for synchronized spawning. New spot in the Olympics. We're not having League of Legends in the Olympics, we're having synchronized spawning. That's how the Olympics is going to become more relevant.
That's right. The Malaysian represents synchronized
spawning.
Yeah, synchronized spawns. 15,000 goal lead for KTHXBAI at this point. Taking a bit of time to actually close off the game, I feel. And it's actually giving a lot of time for Kuala Hunters to sort of fall back into the game slowly and steadily. And you know, we were talking about Jae-Young at the start, actually making a CS deficit against Pyromancer, but at this point, he has caught up with a 40 CS lead now. So even though he is down by a couple of kills here and there, but he does still pack a punch.
I mean, I'd rather say this is a little bit frustrating towards like KTHXBAI. They know they can end the game already, but they're just kind of fooling around, taking whatever they want on the map. And finally, they could have in the mid lane. Let's see if they will wait that 1 minute to see if Baron or Dragon respawn, or are they going to be decisive, pull the trigger, and let the news hang KTHXBAI?
Well,
let the news hang Kuala Hunters.
Yo, the thing is, you got to consider for a fact, right, that KTHXBAI, this is their one opportunity to try to contest for that number 3 spot in the group itself, and like you mentioned, get a better paycheck to say the least. And you know, they want to make sure that they close this game out without making
save
any
some pride
mistakes.
for themselves too, definitely.
Yeah, of course. So in that sense, I don't really fault them for taking their time to close this one out. They gotta be aware of their window of opportunity though.
So Baron will be respawning in another 5 seconds. They know they've complete map control, and looks like they will be just doing the Baron, and I do believe the Dragon as well before they finally end the game. Kuala Hunters at the moment, they are lifeless corpses. They're zombie trying to get any whatever bites they can to salvage whatever they can from this terrible situation of the game.
Right, Baron's getting started. In fact, on the back end, it's gonna be there. Nella Moon does go. Oh, fantastic equalizer!
And the dash sentence lands on the Casper. Casper is gonna be falling, and now Moon's gonna be next second. Oh, Moon is he gonna be falling? One last attack. Pyromancer just getting through. Pyromancer. Oh, Pyromancer gets the triple. Is he gonna get the Quadra? He gets the Quadra, in fact, and I do believe the person who stole it was Swag. Swag the scumbag stole the Penta.
Well, Quadra is not too bad, and KTHXBAI almost getting caught in by Kuala Hunters, I felt, but the burst damage for Zero was too much for Jaeyoung to handle, and right now with Pyromancer alive, they're gonna attempt to close the gate, but Zero going down to the laser, the death laser of the Nexus turrets now. Pyromancer's gonna back off. Caspo, in fact, was too manly of a support player to just carry on.
It is the Baron's buff still available. That's an objective on the map, but it looks like KTHXBAI, they're just going to be picking up the easier one now, hitting for the Dragon instead. I do believe in another minute, the mid lane inhibitor will respawn for the Kuala Hunters.
Yeah, so still gotta be pretty careful about that one. Waterplane is 2 down. Oh, here we go, a replay. So the reason why I say it was pretty dangerous for KTHXBAI that moment was that Equalizer was quite, nicely placed. And look at the Cataclysm right here. Okay, hold on there. Swag with a very nice bar, in fact, onto multiple members of KLH. Okay, alright, so look at the Cataclysm right here. Locking up a lot of members from KTHXBAI, and Jaeyoung had free authority on the back end to do a lot of damage. But look at this right here. Zer on the back end, zeroing onto Jaeyoung. Look at how quickly the health bar just disappeared right after the next damage. Boom! Right down there. Pyromancer on the back end, of course, is surviving, having a fantastic position play as well, getting the quads right out of that, and KTHXBAI still fight trouble.
Oh no, Rabina, a whole bunch of trouble. Is he going to be falling? Right now, one last auto that will be able to finish him up. They do pick up the support. It's a pick gone wrong for the KTHXBAI team.
Yeah, so you should never, especially at this stage of the game, go in alone towards the enemy territory to, get a ward in. So, while I respect you, while I respect that support mentality, I gotta establish vision for my team, but at this stage of the game, you got to be very careful of your own positioning. So unfortunately for Rabina getting caught out right there, so KLH have some space to work around with.
Okay, they will be working on this second initiative to start. If they're able to get this lasting defense and equalizing the million inhibitors, will be the last standing inhibitor, the last standing inhibitor start in the mid lane.
Yeah, so both Silver and Jinx bring similar mechanics to the table, right? So we did see how quickly Jaeyoung was able to demolish the turret when he had the opportunity to just use that pow, bring it down low. 2 turrets down for them. A bit of breathing space to work around with. KTHXBAI revisiting the Baron once more. Will this be a mistake? Lumpur Hunters have full knowledge of this Baron attack.
Oh, he's able to land the hook. He goes and he does get Moon Equalizer drop onto the Baron itself. Great team does get his spike, comes down and Moon, the Gnar comes in. Here comes Chump, the Waters West. There comes in, There, there's 1. Is he able to get 2? He's legendary. That's number 3, I believe. In fact, I do believe 2 went over the Pyromancer in this case. The server becoming extremely fat as well. With the Baron buff, they will be able to push into top lane, turret, and get an inhibitor for themselves.
Yeah, that was effectively the last window for Lumpur Hunters to work with. And fantastic death sentence from Ribena, catching Moon off guard, making sure that there was no smite steal possibility. And KTHXBAI, finally, after 35 minutes, should be able to close out this grueling game against Lumpur Hunters.
Here we have it. Ozark is able to find the assassination and do believe a boomerang blade in the face, as well as 2 or 3 auto attacks. Might be able to finish her off.
Alright then, so not quite the finish that we were looking out for, but all the inhibitors down in the top lane and the bottom, top and mid lane. The bottom one wasn't quite finished yet. 1 Nexus turret down for Lumpur Hunters as well, so KTHXBAI just waiting for you guys to do the honors. Come on guys, we can do it. Your first win in the Garena Premier League Spring State. I believe in you guys, come on.
Come on guys, let's do it. Come on KTHXBAI, just group around. No more dragons, no more buffs, no more random neutral camps, just group as 5. On the hunt, rush into the ball lane, pick up some bonus kills while you're in it. And then go for the Nexus.
Yeah, so 5-man stack. That's a gigantic performance. So Elixir of Iron doing a lot of work on that visual change.
That's the defense is desperate coming from Lumpur Hunters. They need to find a solution to this issue. There we go, 50%.
Oh, there we go.
30%. That is going to be the inhibitor. What?
Oh, Swap did transform into the Mega Gnar though. It's going to be 3 lanes of super minions marching down towards the base of KLH.
Oh, there we go. 3-man out to the Glacier. Prison coming. Equalizer being laid back right down on Pyromancer. Just look at the damage Pyromancer is doing. That he's just doing on the back line. Excellent. Spell shoot the blocker, Super Mega Death Blocker. Oh, Zer Becky almost falls up, but now Jill as well as Rabina will be doing out the focus of KTHXBAI on the Nexus, and it is going to be a KTHXBAI victory. GG.
Well, looks like we have seen the egg being broken tonight for KTHXBAI, picking up their very first victory against Kuala Lumpur Hunters tonight. And let's see if they can continue that streak in order to make it a 3-point victory against KLH. And that was a pretty impressive game coming from the newly reformed KTHXBAI squad, I have to say. You know, knowing the strengths of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, targeting down their weaknesses, and then just snowballing the game out of control. A bit sloppy towards the end in closing out the game, but I guess nevertheless, a victory is still a victory.
Definitely a victory has been secured here by KTHXBAI, so they have 1 point now. They managed to do what
1 point!
Infinite couldn't, Wargods, PID couldn't do it, Jakarta Juggernauts, we have to see if they are able to do it next week.
Yep.
But now KTHXBAI, out of the 4 teams that were sitting at rock bottom of the GPL groups, it was 0 points. KTHXBAI, they broke their egg.
Yep.
And now they have a point, at least 1. Let's see if they can make that 3 against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters.